Hi everyone, it's Elizabeth, and today is Wednesday, September the 1st of 2021. So thank you for tuning in with me today or finding this video. This will be part 3 of my video journaling instead of writing a journal. Again, I had mentioned in my previous recordings that I wish I were a writer. I want to write. I have so much inside that I want to get out. I need to get out. But this just works best for me because I can get things out quickly and with the emotion and the passion that I feel them, and it's hard for me to get passion out on paper. So anyway, so welcome, and I wanted to share that this past Sunday would have been, or it is my mother's earthly birthday. She would have been celebrating here with us. And so while I miss her desperately, everything about her, I'm also grateful that she is not here living with what we're all dealing with all the new things that are happening almost exponentially, between COVIDs and sicknesses and just regular stuff going on. It just would not have been a good situation. So actually, I feel very grateful that that she's not here having to go through all that. So let's just jump right in why I want a video journal today. And what I want to share is because part 1 and 2 was my experiences in God's goodness, faithfulness, healing, going through my mom's storage units, and I've alluded a lot to her cancer. So I just want to share real quickly that, again, it is so important to be relatable. Like, it's so easy to make judgments on any of us. Oh, they have a great marriage, or great things are going for them, or look at this person, look at her, look at him. But everyone has a story, right? We all have, and lives are messy, things are yucky, and it's not all great at all. And it's okay not to be okay. And I learned that from a wonderful woman. I'm just going to call her Angela Asia, who wrote The Flutter, and she was very pivotal for me in 2019, and I will definitely be talking more about her later in my journaling. So in any event, let's just hop right to it. So it was the fall of 2017. It was actually on my wedding anniversary, which is September the 28th, and my husband and I had gone out to dinner. Received a phone call. It was 10:33 in the evening. I remember it distinctly. It's seared in my mind forever. I was already in bed. I rolled over. It was my mother, and she says, "Hi, honey." And I said, "Hey, Mom." She says, "Listen, I'm sorry to call you so late. I'm in the hospital. I'm at Memorial Hermann." And I said, "Okay." And she says, "Looks like I have a tumor in my brain, and that's why I've been having all of my headaches." I said, "Okay, Mom, I'll be there in the morning. Are you okay?" She said, "I'm okay, honey. I'm in good hands." And I said, "Okay, I'll be there in the morning." And I hung up that phone, and I just knew right away. I had this sinking pit in my gut, my heart, my whole mind, everything. It was just like, this is not gonna end well. This is not good. And we've been through a lot of health stuff with my mom, between autoimmune and back surgeries, knee surgeries, neck fusions, you name it. But I knew this was different. I instinctively knew in my gut, this is not good. And I rolled over to my husband and I said, this is not okay. And sure enough, so I got my daughter to school the next morning. It was a Friday, that Friday morning, and I raced over to Memorial Hermann and hospital. And so for those of you tuning in for wherever, I don't know where you're tuning in from and watching this, but I live 50 miles north of Houston, and we have a nice medical center made up of different hospitals where I am. So in any event, I get in there and I race up there, and Mom's just smiling, and I could tell she was off, and I knew that she had not been looking well, because actually a few weeks prior to that, she had come to grandparents' day at my daughter's school, and she just looked off, like really off. And I couldn't put my finger on it, but now it makes sense. Like the side of her head, the tumor was the size of an egg, front right lobal side. And anyway, so I see the scan. I see, wow, this is not good. And they tell me at the nurse's station, yeah, we've assigned her a neurosurgeon and we want to do surgery on her on Monday. And I said, okay, hold on a moment. I'm reeling. I know exactly what I need to do. And so this is where, again, God's goodness and faithfulness like aligned things out and set things in motion years before. So back in 2013 and 2014, when my daughter was in Mother's Day Out programs, I made a friendship with a fellow mom. We had the same age daughter, and it turns out that her husband is a top neurosurgeon, not just in Houston, but in the country, and practices in multiple states with his own private practice. I knew right then and there, God, thank you. I know who I need to call right away. And I called my friend, this individual. She did not answer. I texted her and I said, I need you now. I'm at Memorial Hermann. Looks like my mom has a brain tumor and I need Peter. She called me right away. Within, this is like 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m. By 10:30, the phone calls had been made. We transferred my mother from Memorial Hermann Hospital into St. Luke's Hospital where Peter had his all of his rights to have surgery. And when I informed Memorial Hermann, I said, listen, no disrespect, but Dr. Shedden's going to be my mom's surgeon. And they said, oh, wow, him? We got you. We understand. And it was so amazing. They had all my mom's scans, everything. She'd been in MRI machines, everything since that night before, right? They had everything on discs. They had every picture, everything ready out the door. And it was so seamless. And I am so grateful because that was literally like God orchestrating that along with, obviously, Dr. Shedden and his team. So by the afternoon, well, let me just back up. While I was waiting for all that and the work was being done in the background, I get a phone call from my sister, and I've talked about her a little bit in the past, my two previous recordings. So anyway, I get a phone call from her, and at the time we were pretty estranged. There were different dynamics for that reason. But I took her call, and she says to me, she says, can you talk? And I said, yeah. She says, I had the strangest dream. She said, I had the scariest dream last night. She said, I dreamt that mom got sick and she died. And I'm like, I'm at Memorial Hermann right now with mom. And when I said that, she gasped in the phone and she's like, oh my God, what is happening? I said, mom has a brain tumor and that's all I know. And she broke on the phone and she said, oh my gosh, this is it. This is why I had my dream. I said, I will call you back. We're transferring mom over to St. Luke's with Peter Shedden. So fast forward to later in the afternoon. Peter had surgeries all that day. He met with me, my brother, and we were there in the little consultation area, and he had all her screens up, and I'll never forget this. He took his reading glasses off, and he sat down, and he says, guys, it's not good. He says, this is definitely glioblastoma. And I said, what? He says, this is a GBM. This is glioblastoma. It's a very aggressive brain cancer. And the moment he said that, all I could think about was the only 2 times I've ever heard of that cancer was with Joe Biden, ironically enough, his son, years ago, and then John McCain. So 2 political figures, right? And they were all obviously in the media. So, and I mean, now glioblastoma just rolls off my tongue, and it's a name I wish I never could pronounce. But I learned it real quickly, and I learned everything about it very quickly. Brian and I, my brother and I, were standing there, and I said, so what do we do? What are you going to do? I mean, we've gone through stuff before. We're going to get through this, right? Like, what are we going to do? And he says, we'll need to do surgery on her. And he said, we're going to go right into chemo and radiation. And he says, but honestly, my goal is to have your mother see next Christmas. I was in shock. I said, this Christmas? He says, no, about 14 to 16 months. But my goal is for your mother to see next Christmas. So that would have been Christmas of 2018. I was not prepared for that at all. I was not prepared for that news. I was soccer punched. Like, okay, let me grapple with that information. Let me understand that. Let me process that. And I had to turn right around and walk in there and look at my beautiful mom and go, Mom, it's going to be okay. We're going to have surgery. We're going to get you right into the Dr. Shedden's going to Peter's going to get us right in with his oncologist that he likes so much, and a radiologist doctor that he's paired with. And Mom, we're going to be fine. And immediately what happened real quickly, it was very apparent that my mother would not be able to live on her own. And so everything happened really, really quickly. And so we moved her. It took about a month, but my mom she had her first surgery. And she was just so beautiful and just radiant. Like, I'd never seen someone so beautiful, and the side of her head shaved. And the scar was like from here to here. And, she was happy that whole week. And she started radiation and chemo. And we spent a whole month it took to actually clean out her home and pack things up, get rid of a lot of stuff, and then have her move into our home here, which I counted a blessing. So what is amazing is that before that weeks before is when Hurricane Harvey happened. And we were only one of 6 homes that did not flood during Hurricane Harvey. And I remember thinking and watching as we watched the waters rise, and it came this close to the stoop of our door. I was like, God, we just have barely been in this house a year, or a little over a year, actually. Like, I don't want to have to go through this. We just moved cross state, 2 times in a short amount of period of time. Now we're back in the woodlands, and we're in this home, and I know you'll see anything through, but please, God, please, I just don't want to flood. And we were one of 6 homes, just the way our house was on the street, that we didn't flood. So that was literally God's saving grace, because had we flooded, our home would not have been available for my mom to move into upon her cancer diagnosis. Okay, you guys are hearing my cat. This is like real life here, right? So that was the night and the day and the weekend that we found my mom's diagnosis of the glioblastoma. But so grateful in the midst of that, in complete shock. And I was in partial denial, like, no. I turned my pantry into literally a pharmacy and a holistic pharmacy as well. Like, every single thing you could think of, we were doing it all. And then I was instant driver, caregiver, and every single thing that we could do for my mom. But I just wanted to share her initial, how we found the tumor, what had happened. She was actually having seizures and passing out while she was crocheting or doing things in her apartment. She didn't tell me. She just thought, oh, I have low blood sugar. Oh, it's just I'm getting older. And I'm like, Mom, you didn't tell me any of this stuff. And there were times, guys, where I beat myself up, like, if I had just known. No. And when you go through those times, I just want to encourage you and tell you that is not healthy. It's completely normal, but it is not healthy. We cannot beat ourselves up. The what ifs. What if we had just found it earlier? What if it had been smaller? All of these things. And I had to stop, because I was finding myself doing that. And I had to stop and just say, you know what? It didn't happen. It happened this way. And by the grace of God, her neighbor had found her passed out and had called the ambulance that night on September the 28th. And otherwise, my mom could have easily had a seizure or a stroke and died all alone and never had the months that she had with us to live. So, sorry. We live in, people are hurting for various reasons, It could be illnesses, loss of job, loss of home. But I always say, but God, in the midst of it, there was goodness, there was provision, and He made a way, and we had really good care. And I'm grateful for that. I was angry, I was frustrated, I was beyond broken, knowing that what the reality was, and at that time for her here. But there were a lot of really good things too. But in the midst of all that, I just wanted to be able to share how good and faithful he was, because he knew all those years ago we needed the best. We needed the best, and we got the best. And for my mom during that time, anyway, and it wasn't easy at all. Oh my gosh, I'll get into that in another time. But for today, I just wanted to share that God is good. He is faithful. He is personal. He is powerful. And if you're watching this and you're going through a time, I'm sorry. It's hard. But I pray that God's peace be with you. And I pray for divine interventions and appointments to come into your life to help you, whatever it is that you're going through and walking through. I'm so sorry my cat is behind the background because he wants to go outside and chase butterflies. Anyway, I just want to thank you again for watching me. I ask that you subscribe to my channel, and I will be continuing my journaling on the goodness and faithfulness of God. And may the Lord bless you and keep you, and may his face shine upon you in graciousness and peace. God bless and Godspeed. And I pray that you will know him personally in the most intimate way, because he will never let you down. God bless.